have happened in map number 5, so you gotta avoid it. Gotta find a way, you think, to start off strong here. And the numbers, again, aren't necessarily bad for this Boston Breach team when it comes to respawns in particular, but the question marks around Priesta and Major Maniac now forcing the role change to come through will be prevalent as we jump on into P number 1.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Major back in the CDL. This is going to be his second match. We know he's always going to be Mr. Fundamental. So the adjustments are already coming in for Boston Breach as they find all 4 kills in the feed. LAT, they tend to struggle a bit in this HP, and so far they have to find success here if they want to get in.
Good shutdowns, good trades, good time. Everything looking nice here for the Breach to start. LA Thieves looking for some ground to even work with, and a lot of it being shut down before they can even get themselves a setup. Ghosty just kind of playing around with some elevation over the top of the banisters, but Boston have run it really well. So Snoopy off to the races, 5-0 start, looking for kill number 6, and it's an early cruise missile as Boston are off the gates hot.
Oh, this is the perfect start for Boston Breach. You need some life. You get your young gun in there to earn himself a cruise missile on the first HP. Now you just got to make sure you're in a position to win that rotation over towards next, but a couple bodies do fall, so LAT are going to bombard themselves all over towards that P2 side, and Boston Breach might be in an opportunity where, Snoopy, you're in that cruise missile. We might have to call it in here.
Could be an opportunity to get something going here early. Priesta on the hunt, backside of the second hard point, misses out on the first, but wait, Nasty was so focused on the player over towards Burger that Priesta ends up on 4. Major Maniac cleans up the last player inside the hill, and now it's just down to seeing if they can trade out Joe Deceives. But neutral, not only neutral, Thieves will have a chance to get in and maybe earn a little bit more time here after the hot streak for Boston.
Yeah, they have all the top mid control, so it's very difficult for Boston Breach to break their way out of Cafe side. You got to jump out of a window, work your way, do that dark alley, and then unfortunately no one is able to lead to any kills. So LAT are gonna be able to walk away with this final 25, take the lead by a little bit with only 15 seconds left. Boston Breach, they're more focused off their rotation where they are fully set up at next.
Gotta shut this down. Kremp, he has had a great start. The player you wanted to watch. 5-5 doesn't seem that great, but he has been influential in making sure this hard point goes to Thieves, and also there's a bit of a test on the rotation to 3. Breach cleaned things up though. Priesta zoning out through the old P1. This has worked out beautifully for Boston, who open up this back hard point with a lot of space between them and the Thieves.
Yeah, you see the D spawns, they're all the way across the map, so you eliminate these couple of players trying to flip these spawns, and that's exactly what Snoopy and Beans were able to take care of. Now all of LA have to approach through that front end, but Kremp and Joe Deceive, the SMG duo, are able to find 2. Ghosty with the 3rd, and even with Boston Breach having those back spawns, LA's T pushed right through the front.
That win from Ghosty, massive. Snoopy had to jump on him, literally could not make good on it. So now Ghosty held in the corner. Still finds ways to get wins versus Priesta, but Boston, the proximal spawns, the ability to flood, well coordinated, well timed. They work their way in for a bit of a break. Kremp trying to do what he can to finesse the old time, and only gets one of what would have been 3 Boston players needed. 13 seconds to play, and it looks like these are going to commit to pushing through old in this rotation to 4.
Yeah, you want to push through this old hill so you can potentially flip the spawns through the back, but Boston have gotten a read on it to perfection, as now Beans finds himself on 5 in a row. You can earn that cruise missile, can play a big part, able to find the shots on the Kremp to find it. So now 2 cruise missiles in the back pocket for Boston. They have the spawns for next. All of LAT are going to waste a lot of time just trying to flip them. At least Joe Deceives is able to find 1, and now this is an opportunity.
It's one of those slow starts though from Joe Deceives. It was 3-10, now to 5-10 on 2 in a row. Nasty also similar stat lines, having a hard time getting things going here. Snoopy feeling the pressure with the Thieves break and the flip of the spawns. Will call the cruise missile in. It will not hit anybody, but it does push Kremp deep in towards Burger. But Boston slow to follow up on this in any regard. And oh my, go the way of the Thieves, a complete waste of the cruise missile.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is a waste, because all 4 players from Boston Beach drop at the same exact time. When Snoopy comes off spawn, he's going to call the cruise, but no one's in a position to block the spawn, put them in a position to at least find an exit kill, and that's what makes it very easy for the LAT to still hold on to this P4 HP. So as you said, that cruise missile gets nothing done, and now LAT are potentially going to find one of their own as Joe Deceives is on 5 in a row.
Just has to keep his life here. Dead Silence gonna get popped. He's got Major Maniac nearby. Slides on in and finds kill number 6 as the Thieves, with their breakthrough 4, now a chance to win a little bit of early time on rotation. See their lead up to 20. The Boston have recovered, find themselves in the hard point for now.
Yeah, they're in the hard point for now, and they have LAT exactly where they want them. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get a read on these spawns. It doesn't matter, though, because they're finding all the kills in the feed. And they have still control of this bridge hill. Spawns for LAT are going to flip a little bit scattered around the middle of the map. It's going to allow them opportunities to push their way up through P1, but it's still not going to lead to the break because Boston's still slaying with the best.
Ghosty just continues to find critical double kills, up to 16 and 8, and he's got nearly a minute and a half in the hard point. He has been doing it all for the Thieves to this point. Joe Deceives trying to find some success through the front, not able to find any value over towards P1. And once again, Boston 3 for 1 in the kill feed, a chance to get some of the scratch time, but most importantly, they will own this rotation back over to the first hill.
Yeah, but this time LAT at least have themselves a cruise missile if it does get a little bit scary around this P1 area. No one's trying to attack over through that bridge side. They're all trying to hit that overextension through the middle of the map. So it's going to be an all-out battle. Kremp and Nasty come out on top with 2 of their own. So the hill is going to be white, but LAT have the bodies in the hill. They are in control.
Major Maniac trying to work with Snoopy on this break, but again, key moment here with 40 seconds remaining. Boston setting up for the break as we jump into a breach. Listen in.
Low time go see, low time go see.
It's an A time. Yeah, show me.
Low tram, weak. He's on the awning. Awning and top bridge and close left time.
Top bridge, fuck, I'm away. I'm away for you.
Nice, close left time.
Nice,
He's up behind the door.
Yo, TV dead.
Nice, good shit. There's last row there, last row.
One is connector. Nothing.
TV weak, Cream. I'm gonna jump lane now.
One more cat, 2 That's big time. One shot.
All good.
20 mil. I go on you. I'm gonna
Go left, spawn.
I'll go left.
Yeah, give me the blood. Hey, should we top it?
I'm pushing front.
Should we top it?
I can pinch it. Pod one shot.
Careful,
He's top plat.
You might curve in Burger, no bullshit. We're good. I'm waiting for you.
This guy fell off.
Yeah,
I'm pinching him. That's gonna be behind us. That's gonna be behind us. Only one time. I can play from a cat. He's spots. One shot mid. Joe going right.
Okay, I'm getting it.
That's not him. Joe's going right. I'll get to the
He's close up to me. Close up. He's on mid, I think.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Last time in. Yeah, I'll help you. Someone pick him in.
Okay, we need help, probably.
They're going through right, guys. They're going through right. Nothing middle.
Watch out on you. There's 2. One's absolute. One's deep right.
Field.
Yeah, all three. One's going up. Mine's fast. Mine's the pots.
Back on me.
Yo, going I spawn out. I'm gonna flank gold. I'm gonna flank gold. You're gonna roll over.
To the back. Yeah.
Station on new. Go see one shot help you with you guys stage.
Should we spawn low?
Go front door on you. He's back. I'm
going low.
Yeah, spawning on me.
Yeah.
They're gonna throw it.
There's one on me.
Burger. One shot, Burger. Burger in the back. Two back. 2 pillars.
Close time. Weak as fuck.
Pillars ghosty.
Big time, Max. Big time. I have help, Mike.
I'm
trying to stop him.
He's spots.
He's absolute zig.
Big dead. One more. Already looking for one.
Nice.
Let's go. Spawning out.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you all.
Yo, you guys can fight spawners too. Nice.
I'm saying push up here.
Can they go through lower now, person?
They should be front.
I'll play set up for the left. They're gonna probably play left, okay?
Yeah, left on me. Yeah, he's in 2 couches.
I have low. He's already gone.
Already used this.
Well, Boston hanging in, but it just feels like once things start to go right for the breach, Thieves have an answer. So now you've got a rotation back towards 4. Spawns are out for Boston. You got to call the cruise missile and try to help you out.
Yeah, you have to, but unfortunately, the player who you relied on to simply play his life at the best of the ability, he does fall, but at least does take down 1. Now the route out of Priesthood to try to secure those spawns back for Boston Breach, but he's not finding any success so far because LA, they are playing a really tight setup. They're even getting beat downs. Everything is going correct off the rotation for LA, where they struggled on this map. 11th overall, they are showing improvement so far.
Just calm, collected, and so concentrated in terms of what the Steve setups have been, not just for their holds, but in particular, a lot of these breaks where it looks like Boston are in a good position of control. Over the 200-point mark, go the Thieves. 16 seconds of scrap time. Valuable time here for both sides as Boston try to neutralize, but not gonna happen. Thieves will be over the 220 mark.
And now this is where Boston need that P5 to P1 chain to get back into this game. You want to try to flip these spawns on the opposing side, but LAT, more specifically Ghosty, is just a man on a mission. 28 and 18, 2 minutes in the hill. Mr. Do-It-All. But Boston Breach only down by 60 points. Just need themselves a good hold. And that's to start by not allowing Jodeci's to get this cruise missile, because this is going to play a big part. Time to call it in.
From 3 and 10 to 23 and 23 with 2 cruise missiles earned. Once Joe gets a flow for the map, boy, he's dangerous. Unfortunately, he's dangerous to his teammates as well. Kremp will drop to the cruise missile. Ghosty trying to find himself tucked into a corner, but Boston will get their break and a chance to hold this back 30.
And now this is perfect situation right here for Boston. Just got to be able to read the spawns out of LA. gonna flip it, and I think Boston are gonna be a little bit unaware. Krep finds a double. Now there's only one player left on the point. It's gonna be Priesta, not able to earn that cruise missile. Well, LAT no longer have an opportunity to win here, but this is not the ideal situation if you are Boston. You have to try to take P1.
And you got to do more than that. You have to get P1 in full and also rotate over without making any mistakes for any of the scrap time. And it's not going well over the top of the new hard point. 181 to 245, and Boston will be wiped off the floor. Ghost 31 and 22 minutes of hill time. It's the equivalent of the Call of Duty hat trick. The guy was everywhere. And another one of those big bounce backs. Again, first set of hills for both Nasty and Joe. Not particularly great, but something just clicks with these guys in those second hills, man.
It just comes down to like those late rotation heroics, because Boston, they were in control of this game from the start. They got a little bit scrappy at P2. You keep the spawns for P3 and P4, so you were giving yourself a little bit of a lead. But then when you get to the second half of the game where Boston looked like they were starting to run away with it, you invest the cruise missile on the side of LA, it gets nothing over there on that P2 side. So Boston have the spawn, they were getting all the kills. It just came down to the final 10 seconds. You allow all of Boston Breach to just put their focus on the back end, and LA, they were still hitting that old time. So when they find all those kills, they get at least one player to spawn out, and at the same time, Priesta killed himself in backside graffiti. I have no idea how that happens, but then that allows now LAT to have the numbers off the rotation. 2 player from Boston Breach spawn all the way out. Those are just situations that you definitely want back if you're Boston, and LAT, they just took full advantage of it.
Unreal stuff, man. It's just the composure from this Thieves team never falters. And for Boston, it feels like a major missed opportunity in this map number 1, considering the start in particular. Snoopy, on his first life, gets the cruise missile, and you start to think that the desk is just profits. Talking about the SMGs needed to start off hot. Boy, did they ever. But then all of a sudden, Joe Deceives Nasty start to turn up, and how pivotal were a couple of those doubles from Ghosty. So many saved moments, not on rotation, not just on break, but also on holds, where it's just Ghosty in a 1v3, and he takes care of 2. The rest of the Thieves with close spawns get there, reinforce, and reflood. It just felt like that happened in so many critical moments.
And that's what makes him such a great player, because he's always thinking about how the hell am I going to walk away with this W at the end. If I got to do it in the hill, I'm going to do it. If I got to get my kills, I need to do it. But then in those moments where he's in a 1v3, his teammates lose all the gunfights off the rotation. Just him managing to find 2 of those kills gives his team another opportunity and another successful break. And they always were able to bounce back on that second opportunity. So when you have Ghosty playing like that, obviously slow starts from a couple other players, but they eventually start to turn up. That's when the game starts to get a lot easier for this LA squad.
Yeah, it's just they find ways to get points on any given moment in time and any given moment in the map. I mean, even on scrap time, I think that P1 to P2 was an important kind of rotation in towards the second set of hills, 20 plus points there. Same thing from 2 to 3, and then when they hold, my goodness, definitely better. Like you mentioned, the stats did not necessarily build towards them being great off rotation, but here when they did have the opportunity, they made great use of it. So a great first map from the side of the LA Thieves, and now we start to look at what comes up next, which is a Rio Search and Destroy. This has been a fantastic map, at least by record, for the Thieves. It's hard to find, you know, positive storylines for Boston and Search and Destroy generally. So again, it feels like one of those maps that after a round 11 loss last you played it, you better have figured something out here to get this map back in your wing, because you need it. There's really no way we think that there's gonna be a reverse sweep here for Breach.
Yeah, LA, they love themselves some Rio Search and Destroy, but on the opposite side for Boston, we watched that match on Friday versus Minnesota. You go all the way to around 11, you found a majority of first bloods in those final couple of rounds, and then just gave it away. And I think that comes down to, obviously, Boston Breach all season long, their teamwork has been abysmal. When you get down to those numbers advantages, someone always tries to go for an individual play, and that's simply not how you're supposed to play those situations. You have the numbers, play together. That's the biggest thing. Now with the addition of Major Maniac, it has to be more in sync, man, because you did it. You really went to a round 11. You went to a round 11 versus Minnesota Rocker, and you fell short while finding a first blood in that round 10. And then in round 11, you get first blooded, and then you just slowly but surely relying on a bunch of individual plays. And when none of them go your way, that's when Boston Breach tend to struggle. So, Major, you just got to rally the troops. Make sure at least everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, at least you said it when we were kind of listening into the Breach listening during map number 1. The comms for Major Maniac have been great, as if he's been part of this team for a while. So can he kind of quarterback some of these plays coming up, especially when we start to get after a post-plant situations? Because, wow, it just is not good anywhere you look at. I mean, only up from here is a hell of a way to put a storyline on it. But look, the thing about it is this is the season. You don't win this series, your chances at making champs go essentially, I think in a lot of people's minds, to pretty much 0%. Because you would have to what? Win out the rest of your qualifiers,
win the major,
top 3 at the big four. Like, this doesn't feel very likely.
But just from the players' perspectives, like, you don't want to be on this kind of roster to end your season because opportunities for next season are going to be very slim. You want to try to end this season out strong, and especially a player like Major Maniac who was put in this situation to try to fix it. So slowly but surely, you get a couple wins underneath your belt, you start to turn it around, it might change your future.
Well, let's take a look here at this Thieves offense. They have been great being able to find opening dual wins here on the attacking half. In Major 3, they were third here, with almost finding half of their offensive wins coming by way of First Blood. So the numbers are great. And there are a lot of patience here off the get-go, and they find Snoopy trying to just stretch forward. Same situation. Priest trying to follow up behind it, and the trades do favor Thieves initially, but the bounce back from Boston, good. We go to 2v2.
Yeah, that's good teamwork right there to at least trade efficiently. Now it's a 2v2. And you were slowly but surely covering a lot of ground on the map, but Ghosty, he gets a read on at least one player, makes it a 1v1, and that's where you allow Joe Deceives, who was being that SMG aggressive player up through bridge side, already gets past enemy lines, is able to secure the one-on-one to put LAT on the board first.
Yeah, I mean, First Bloods for LA have been incredibly well converted on this map.
Especially on the attacking side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's indeed the case. So now we switch the sides around, and for Boston, here's your positive moment. They have not been particularly great anywhere, but they do get the bomb down quite often. And on this map, they're great at holding it. Now, of course, that didn't hold true when it mattered most versus Minnesota, but hey, you live, you learn, you move on. See if you can find a way to keep that as your success right here.
And the good thing for them is that they love to plant this bomb, especially over towards this B side. If you are LAT, you got to do your homework, knowing that they only plant over towards a 5% of their attacking round. So it has to be a heavy defensive stack over towards this B side. And you can already see Krep taking a lot of ground. He's able to cast the timing for the first blood onto Major.
Now you got a 3v3 over the top of the site. Ghosty able to at least trade out the initial. Snoopy still involved. Ghosty, wow, still goes 1-for-1 initially. Snoopy off the regen will find the kill, but once again, you've got this situation where we get into low number situations and the second engagement continues to turn out in favor of the Thieves.
Boston just keep allowing one player to slip on pie. It was Joe Deceives in the first round, getting behind enemy lines to shoot Major in the back, and then right off the rip, Krep, no hesitation over through that bridge side. He finds that first blood, but then doesn't continue to try to make an individual play. He doesn't push forward. He comes back to assist his teammates over towards bridge to keep the trades in their favor and is in a perfect position to win another 1v1 for LA, now up 2-0.
Yeah. Got to have something here for Boston, flat out. Just have to have something for us to look at and say, okay, we're learning, we're growing, we're taking the lesson learned and immediately turning into something awesome. But so far, First Bloods in round conversions have gone all the way of the Thieves. Once again, another passive start here at the break off for LA. Looking for Major Maniac at range. Nasty finds him. A little bit of aggressive game of tag between the two, but it's Priesta on the other side who tries to get out and will with First Blood over towards the A side of the map.
Yeah. Big first blood right there out of Boston. Now into numbers advantage. You don't really have to do anything. Just don't allow that bomb to go down for B, but also don't allow 1v1 gunfights to go across the map. Major Maniac is going to fall to Nasty. Instantly turns it into a 3v3, and you can already see all of LA. They are taking control of that A site.
Yeah, it's not even just the A site here, Jay. They're taking control of the defensive side of the map, and Nasty's going to get a read on everything. Unfortunately, though, for him, he finds himself in a 1v3. Now it just has to be, can he play his life? If he can find a kill, that'd be a miracle. And he does take down Snoopy. The pistol's out, trying to find the response to Priest, not to happen, but a post-plant comes through 2v2.
And I'm pretty sure Priest at least gains the info on both of the players on the exit. They already reinforced their way through top mid. Ghosty gonna back down with his life. Just finesse a little bit longer. But Beans finds that kill. 1v2 for Ghosty.
Oh, but Ghosty finds him on the bomb. Now it's just down to, does he get the read onto Priesta? No, he does not. Priesta from the backside of stairs. Gets the wrap, gets the timing, and gets Boston their first round. I like the initial call from Beans saying, let's not dance around this 2v2 for too long. Let's try to force the issue. And Priesta right there to follow up for his trade works out nicely.
Yeah, Priest finds that first blood, but it still wasn't an easy round. The fact that Nasty was in a 1v3 scenario, trapped in on the backside of the map, and he's able to walk away with at least one kill. Like, I don't know if Snoopy had no idea that he had that angle to where he decided to lay through lower Eskies, but Boston almost let that one get away from them. But they were able to put one on the board. Now back to the attacking side they go. This almost got scary too, because Priest he's like, oh, new role. I gotta run an SMG a little bit more aggressive. I'm not ready for that beat down, but he's able to find 3 on a round and secure it.
Great stuff from Priesta. Trophy systems down as Thieves look to take a pretty aggressive stack here over the top of B. Nades are cooked and thrown simultaneously, but No one home, so no hit markers, no damage, no nothing here for the Thieves opening utility. Boston have held off nicely, and now there's a bit of mystery here for the Thieves defense of where exactly have Boston gone.
Yeah, but they have not moved on their setup. They have all their bases covered. You have Ghosty watching over that A site. Kremp in a very crucial position to stop anything aggressive over towards B. But the teamwork still here in this setup for LA. As now the push comes in for Boston to try to take top mid control. Priesta with another first blood. Boston in the numbers advantage.
Nasty hoping, praying he could find some sort of a trade, but not to be. Bean stays alive. Nasty now off the regen. Bomb not being committed for the plant here. And this is a split setup. This is going to be a 3v2 if Thieves decide to try to make a play for the recontest. Initial trades, though, still decent. Boston hold their numbers advantage. Major Maniac collecting the bomb, going for the plant. Nasty can't see him. We'll have a 3v2 post plant.
Yeah, but look at the ground that Ghosty was already able to take. He's working his way behind enemy lines. Already cracks the door and at least able to spot a couple players on the exit. That's going to catch Snoopy off guard. Turns it into a 2v2. He also gets info onto Major.
Right, I mean, Beans needs to go. He needs to come help here. Major Maniac gets isolated. Now it's just down to Beans.
Oh!
I mean, it feels like round 10 from Minnesota all over again. We've got numbers on the post plant. Ghosty reveals himself off the pinch, but Beans just gets frozen like a statue. Major Maniac gets isolated. Jay, it's falling apart again.
It's just like, you have the numbers. Our setup obviously is going to have an opening when someone does fall. But it's just two players put all their focus over towards bridge shot, instantly thinking in LA, once that bomb goes down, they're going to be right on us. But Ghosty, with another heads-up play, just hits that long route. It catches Snoopy off guard. At that point, Beans was like, I'm watching the flank, but I don't have all of the flank. And unfortunately, when Ghosty finds that kill, now you force himself to reposition. But he also gains that info onto Major Maniac. So they were able to isolate him. Beans not in the best spot to clutch up in the 2v1. And that was another round where the teamwork just wasn't there for Boston.
Unreal. Oh boy. It's one of those moments you just got to rub your temples and give a deep sigh. Boston looking to get aggressive through mid. They will find a free top mid control, and a little bit of pressure from Beans does have Thieves kind of shaking about what's over here at A, but largely speaking, everything kind of resets, and now it's just kind of the status of, can Thieves find success towards bridge, and can Boston find success top mid?
And it's all going to fall onto what kind of information Ghosty can continuously give to the team, because he's already pushed his way up through A's site. He spots absolutely no one from Boston Breach, so that A bomb is going to go down for free. It's now going to turn into a 4v4 situation.
And Ghosty up top here should be good for one at least. Just comes down to what utility does Boston have trying to slide back across. He does get the first. Angle is decent. Major Maniac trades him out. But the next question for Boston on this retake is, where's everybody else at? And Joe, tucked underneath boxes. Oh, does get topped by Snoopy. Timing not going his way. Boston now off the retake. Priesta immediately hopping on for the defuse. Snoopy trying to push the issue. Kremp has to check for this. Major Maniac is going to hop off, find the kill, and make the defuse that much easier.
Oh, that's good plays right there from Boston to find that timing on the Joe to seize, because Joe is probably sitting there. You guys have my garage? You guys have that overextension? Cool, I'm going to watch boxes. But then that split second when he just turns, gets bad timing onto Snoopy, was the difference in that round, because everybody else from LAT was so far pushed back, they had no angle to watch that bomb. As Boston trade effectively onto Ghosty, you find that kill on the Joe, you take full bomb site control, and then no one else goes for an aggressive chow, able to secure the defense.
Critical round for Boston. Had to have it. Can you string them together, though? Because that also at some point in time has to happen. Talking about their post-plant success, well, needs to start showing up as well. Double hit here for Thieves. Nade denied by Trophy. Beans trying to hold himself close on this cop car. Yeah, and they will get at least the information that there is significant defense here with this Trophy system being placed over the top of A. But Kremp gets into a nice little corner here. Yeah, Ghosty's pushed off, but Kremp with a crossfire for Joe deceives. They've got a good look over the top of the A site.
Yeah, this is perfect, because Beans was only able to get info onto Ghosty. He spotted him on that white van, so the fact that he's able to back up, you're not going to have any info of where Kremp is, but he does put down a couple shots. And that leads to the nade coming over the top for Joe deceives for the first blood.
Well, the long wrap from Nasty goes uncovered, but he doesn't see the wrap back. But they do clear out the front side at A. Bomb planted, 3v4. You just have to play this together if you're Boston. And they will. Good team shots for the first. Ghosty responds with a trade. Holds the corner. Now everything starts to fall apart a little bit. Boston splitting the map up just a touch, and Nasty will find the isolate 1v1 versus Beans. Kremp the same thing versus Priesta. They all stack together, they find one, and then there's a trade, and everyone panics. They just have no retreat back.
Yeah, that's just tough, man. Like, you had a team push off the rip. You traded at least effectively, but it's a little bit better on the side of LAT because Ghosty doesn't have to fully commit on that second kill because they still have the numbers advantage and a lot of time to work with to try to stick that defuse. But once it turns into a 2v3, you see Priest that he was instantly trying to play for that kill on the Ghosty. He could not find it. Forces your teammates to now try to make an individual play in LA. They're able to find those 2 exit kills to secure the round. It's been a story of first bloods, at least for LA side. Is they're up 4-2.
That has been a story of post plants. Diffuses all over the place. Has anyone held the post plant yet? Here we go. Offense for Thieves. Lots of nades thrown over towards A, but the Boston defense not shying away from this. But no trophy means that LA is just going to say, okay, no one's here. We'll just push up. We'll get our free plant. We'll go back to trying to hold this post plant for the second time.
And this time is where they're going to make that adjustments off of the first setup that they had last go around. And Ghosty's not going to put himself in a one-and-done situation. He's able to find one Snoopy there for the trade. Still a lot of time to work here for Boston, but now it's on Joe to C's hands.
Yeah, Joe looking to push around the backside, make a little bitty pinch come through. Only gets one. Now the post plant plays against the retake from the front. 2v2 situation. Cramp up top with Nasty. Snoopy with an SMG wants to get active, and he may have some timing here. Toe tags. It's like a cartoon shooting the feet, make him dance. Nasty through the smoke. Does he actually commit for this? Oh, Snoopy gets the jump on him, finds the kill, and Boston stay alive.
Yeah, so no adjustment there from LA. If Ghosty finds that first blood, he's instantly traded. Joe to C's this time around takes down one, but still better trades on the side of Boston Breach. Once you take that bomb site control, you're able to execute where the hell the setup is on the defensive side. You already spot someone on the Hummer, someone's on the cop car. We can eventually, especially if you have the smoke in your back pocket, force them out of their positionings. And that's exactly what happens as Boston Breach. They're just like, all right, we're going to stack this B side every time. We've been successful on that A side twice now, so there's no way LA are going to go back to that one.
Yep. Retakes have been good for both teams, honestly, from the defensive side. So will that continue to be the case? As now Boston will try to do what they've been relatively unsuccessful in being able to do, which is, again, convert a post plant. 3 plants, no offensive wins at this point. Stuns, nades will land initially. Late trophies will deny the rest of the utility. Thieves not able to push forward with those tags, so they'll reset. And they may just play this double flank through A quickly. That looks to be the case.
Yeah, they're playing that one super fast as well. That bomb is now getting planted for Boston. Snoopy trying to catch the timing on at least the first player. Unreal. And he's not able to find that kill. Ghosty again, somehow away with a first blood.
And now here's the pinch. It's perfectly timed. Krep gets 2. Boston completely caught off guard by the timing of that. And it all starts with the fact that Ghosty wins a 1v1 within 5 feet of an SMG wielder and Snoopy. Unreal stuff. And another post plant. Not successful. Just 5-3, and wow, the retake success for both these two teams have been nuts.
And Alan, like, that's gotta be a mishap because Boston, they were working the objective. No one should put themselves in an individual gunfight unless it's guaranteed. Like, Snoopy, all you have to do is watch an angle, make sure our bomb carrier does not die. Once that bomb goes down, 4v4, it's a lot better. But when you're the player initially dropping on their side of the map, now you're forcing the rest of your teammates off the post plant. The guy just finished planting the bomb. The other guys are watching 2 different angles, and the flank is open once again, and LA take full advantage of it.
Perfect caption. Thank you, production. Can't hold this. 7 straight diffuses. Opening nade will land on the initial bomb carrier of Joe Deceive. So early numbers here for Boston, and they're looking to take a page out of the Thieves book. Quick flank on the way, but LA have not committed to B yet, and they're still watching for this. Ghosty, if he sniffs this out, they're in a good spot to read it, and Kremp does get some sort of a call out. They find a response. Now we go 3v3.
Yeah, Ghosty sniffed it out to perfection. He gives the comms to his teammates, so at least even up the numbers at a 3v3. Now, this is where if you're Boston Breach, you don't really have to do anything else. Major Maniac has him trapped over towards his left side. He's going to be able to spot the cross through top bridge as well. So for Snoopy and Beans, let's just wait to pounce.
Yeah. Toes will be seen. Slide through also going to be seen. So now the transition should be called out, and Major Maniac does not hesitate at all. Says, you're going to give up this position at bridge. I will gladly take it. Has an initial angle versus Nasty, but it's just a quick shoulder. Snoopy, the one that really needs to be called upon, and him and Beans will combine for 2. Cramp by himself, tries to get himself out of dodge with the smoke, but time is becoming an issue here for this 1v2. and he's already been seen. Has to turn back for it. Decent shots, but just not enough health to get through the gunfight. Boston extend the map another round.
Yeah, good job for Boston. Just hit that break. Like, that was the biggest thing, is that you put yourself in that first blood scenario, you find that first kill with the nade over the top. But then when you aggressively send 3 players through the flank, one does get picked off. So it turns into a 3v3, but they were all playing off of the communication coming out at Major Maniac. He spots a couple players cross. He knows that eventually the player has to come in towards either of the sites. And Beans and Snoopy, that dynamic duo, get it done for Boston to stay alive.
Gotta hold the post plant. Just have to have it. I mean, they've planted every single round. Just have not been able to convert any of those rounds to this point. Ghosty, aggressive with 2 other Thieves members over towards the A site. Nasty, whoa, solo mission here. And wow, just barely gets out. But the bomb does get planted and the defense has to rotate and respond.
And now Kremp with that smoke grenade in hand. So they're a matter of moments before they decide to aggressively push their way through top mid, but they're more focused on trying to back down these players, at least isolate Major Maniac over towards this bridge side. Only 48 HP. No one is watching his back, so first blood, LA.
And you still have question marks here. Beans doesn't know what to look at the moment. Fortunately, Snoopy does catch one off that cross. Priesta, knowing that he may be called upon to check. Ghosty gets one off the flank, trying to push forward. Not again! There's no way! Snuddy! I am gonna have no hair left watching this Boston team play a post plan on Rio. I mean, they give up so much ground and they leave Major Maniac on an island.
It just doesn't make sense. It literally does not make sense. It's like Boston Breach, all right, we do everything right off the beginning of the round. We put our players in the best ideal scenarios, best positions possible. But every single time they just leave one player isolated by himself. I know Major Maniac, he's always been a guy that's gonna communicate all the way to the very end. And he's telling them, there's 3 players on me over at this breach side. Is someone gonna help me? He does his best of his ability to simply play his life, but no one watching his back allows Kremp to sneak up behind him, find that first blood, and then Ghosty decides to push on through to find the second, gives the communication to his teammate, and Nasty ends it out with a double. So many opportunities where Boston should have been able to walk away with this map. How many times did they play the bomb, Alan? 5. A lot, right? How many times did they find success?
0.
All right, that's the story right there. Boston Breach, we gotta get it together, man.
Wow, dude. Just wow. Well, we gotta start finding some sunshine somewhere, and it may come on high-rise control. Boston have been, really honestly, through Major 3, they've been great at control overall, and across a lot of different maps, high-rise being one of them to be sure. But again, it's just, you know, the hamper here is the simple fact that how do we frame up a Boston Breach reverse sweep when there's still an invasion search waiting for them? You don't feel great about that, Jay.
No, you don't. Invasion Search, at least they did look good in their last series they played, but it is a game 5, and we all know how that goes for Boston, so you have to figure it out when you get there.
Well, we'll see. High-rise control has to be the lifeline to keep Breach involved in this series and maybe involved for any resorting conversations around champs. Does feel a little bit dwindling, but for Thieves, a possibility for a 3-0. We'll come back to the break with high-rise control right after this.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Scuff Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuff.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Black are your Toronto Open champions. Cammy was spotted initially. Capsule's gonna drop, so Cammy with a huge opportunity to clutch up a 1v2. Make it a 1v1. Has to grab the bomb though, or has to find the kill. Classic, right to the courtyard. Cammy spots him, and Cammy pulls off the 1 versus 2. Classic is doing it all right now. He might actually reach 40 kills in this hard point.
Really come alive. Classic's gonna hit the flank. Classic, the perfect timing. They line up there. 42 and 26.
On the flanks, hitting the routes, making the right play at the right time. And we all know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And well, these boys, they finish strong. Now on Paul X here for a 1v2.
So Paul X clutches it, goes to around 11.
Oh, Paul X! Oh my goodness! to keep his team alive.
What a Herculean comeback coming through for FaZe Black.
They're not out of it just yet. They have brought this one all the way back, and now the rotation looking solid. FaZe Black in position to stop it here. Asim gets a read at one. The sunset could be good for another. FaZe Black trying to steal away the hard point, and they might just be good for it. Stuns, nades, everything being thrown in. Dip diving, ducking and sliding, trying to find a way through, but FaZe Black will not let you win the hard point. They come all the way back. This will be the final push. Brack through the middle, able to clean up one. Needs to put together more as he cuts through mid. Finds Major Maniac. That will be the second kill. Now they're on the point with 2 seconds to spare. They're finding the kills. No respawns. They were tested, but they were never bested. They're impressed, but they were never finessed. Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Black are your Toronto Open champions.
Welcome back there, friends, family, COD fanatics. We've got ourselves map 3, high-rise control. Boston currently down 0-2, but like we kind of framed up, through stage 3, their control had been pretty darn great. Just came down to the fact they hadn't played a lot of high-rise, but maybe some recency bias does come into favor after their performance here versus Minnesota recently.
Yeah, Beans was going off, man. He's been the shining light for this Boston Breach squad, in control overall throughout the entire season that he's been on the roster. He's second overall with a 1.23 KD right behind Celium. So the guy gets it done, especially when you can put him in a position with that AR to just watch one angle, because he's going to be one of those turret kind of players who just loves those kind of engagements. But then on the opposite side for LA, I know the Death's touched on it. They have been struggling in control, but a lot of it has not been on high-rise. It's been all about the invasions, all about the Karachis. High-rise only played a couple times, and they do have a positive record with an undefeated defensive record, and also only allowing 1.5 segments getting away from them on that defensive side. So this is a square up.
Impressive stuff, to be sure. And not just has Beans been great over the season, here is your stage 4 qualifier to this point, which again just includes that one match versus Minnesota. But he did pop off. I mean, he took over flat out, especially when he was on the defensive side and the guy looked untradeable. So that's going to be, I think, an influence here for Boston trying to recover after the only other time that we've really been able to watch them, or at least keep their stats tracked recently that makes sense, is when they played up against LAG. That was way back at the end of April, where they did not have a great defensive side. So some corrections may have given us some hope based on how they played Minnesota, but now it's do or die. Have to have this one to extend the series, and LA will be on offense first, which is a 2-2 split off as normal.
Yeah, I like going to start off early on the attacking side. Joe DeCeas's just trying to dominate through bottom pit. But so far, he doesn't spot a single player from Boston. Boston are more focused on maintaining that mid-map, also that B Street side, and they're finding a majority of the kills, just not to trade on to Joe. He's able to get on the point, but you gotta get right back off because you're the only one alive now.
Yeah. Good finesse, though. Joe able to just kind of keep himself over towards the pit, but Beans just doing what he does best. Joe able to find Snoopy and get away. Major Maniac wants to try to find the challenge, but oh my god, finessed completely by Joe Deceives. Ghosty also clears off the Boston defenders by the spawn, and now LA on the B zone early.
Hopefully they got a couple trophies to work with, because you know that update, those trophies only stop 2 things now. So you have to barge your way with those if you want to stay alive in this beat point. And unfortunately, the trophies are not down. You allow Snoopy to walk in and find a double, and that leads to a clean 4 dead. All of LAT now coming off spawn, applying pressure over towards blue.
But they are getting some success through blue. That's going to be 3 straight. Priesta, one of the last ones standing over towards B alley. Try to be chased down, but denied, as Beans is there to help find the trade. Ghosty right back in the mix, though. 4-2 start for him. He has been great in respawns for LA, but time is running out on this round. A couple of good kills here still, but got to find a way to stop the clock, and there will not be easy entry towards B. Major Maniac watching over the top of it. Nasty doing what he can to try to get a second tick.
Yeah, the second segment could be big. You're also able to invest that trophy system, so to block a couple things, but now you're allowing your teammates to cut off through the middle of the map. Ghosty right off spawn is able to find a double. Crep finds a third, but Snoopy is able to find a triple of his own, trying to make it 4 in a row to shut down that play, and at least stalls out enough time for Boston with only 5 seconds left to stand strong on the defensive side. Sometimes you just need an individual to do something crazy, and Snoopy got it done.
Absolutely the case. Ghosty trying to hang on to the A zone to delay a little while longer, but not going to happen. Yeah, huge from Snoopy, nearly with the full team wipe. Impressive stuff, and the hero that Boston may not have deserved, but the one they needed for sure right there on the B zone. So good defense, only giving away 2 ticks of progress, kind of reflecting upon the Minnesota game. Same situation, just good overall AR control, allowing the SMGs to pop off.
Now look at the plays out of Snoopy. Walks on the edge, finds the double, and then drops down for the third. He's feeling himself after that moment. That's why he goes for the Eagle Chow onto the 4th, but that's already job well done if you are Snoopy and Boston Breach. Securing the first defense, but now you're on the attacking side, going up against the LAT squad, who love themselves some defense on high rise.
Oh, good first blood from Cramp. Looked like Snoopy had the jump on him. Not going to happen, but the push towards and through A is well underway here for Boston. Priesta trying to find his way over towards the windows. Does get red and denied. Pinstripe kill feed. Back and forth kills means that the Thieves will hold off this hit towards A for now.
Yeah, they're trying to show a lot of presence over towards this A point. If you are Boston, to force at least LA to be a little bit weaker on their B Street setup. The more lives that you throw on that side, the more time it's going to get away from you. As now, Beans already puts himself over towards that B Street. He does fall, and now everybody from Boston Breach back off the respawn.
Ghosty over the top on the pipe. Snoopy getting his way in towards B, trying to chase down the kill. Denied by Ghosty. It's just, when you think you got the jump on him, he turns around and says, not so fast. 3 in a row now for Ghosty off the regen, looking to put a little bit of pressure on the Boston spawns, with the rest of the Thieves kind of holding onto this B alley behind him.
But they're not finding any kills. That's another 4 dead already in the feed. And now Ghosty finds himself on 5 in a row. Not a single segment has been earned as well. So if you are Boston, you have to try to get something done in this 23 seconds that you have left. But LA are not making it easy. Everyone is strapped with that MCW in hand. It recently just got above. They're all shooting on all cylinders.
Looking really good for it. No ticks of progress. Nothing to speak of yet for Boston. Joe up top. Only player that may be able to do something here is Snoopy. Does he have any more heroics left in him? Gets over towards the B site, finds one, but not the second, and the round will come to a rather swift end. 19 lives still remain for LA to the 9 of Boston. Just complete domination on their first defense.
Yeah, that's tough right there if you are Boston, because now you know you're down by 2 segments. If we allow LA to get anything more, we're going to guarantee ourselves 2 offenses to try to close out this map to stay alive in this series. But Ghosty now with that cruise missile in his back pocket can make a couple plays happen on this attacking side, because at least for LA, they did have a lot of players just getting those kills at the very end of that round. So trophy systems are going to be in their back pocket of this initial push towards B.
A couple of players for Boston having a good start. Snoopy in particular, of course, but Beans 10-9. Definitely still involved, even though the offensive side was particularly slow. Nades being exchanged both sides. Joe once again down low, and this time he finds Priest up top on the staircase. A chance for Joe to put a little bit of pressure onto the spawn. Kill number 5 comes through. A chance for a cruise missile now as he gets a read over towards Priest. What a stun! Locks him into plays, and Boston will come off spawn with a chance to try to get back to B.
At least he allows his team now an opportunity to complete this third segment over towards B. You eliminate Snoopy, who was trying to make a play behind enemy lines. He gets cut down. And now that's already 3 dead in the feed. Priest, the farthest pushed up player for Boston, has to make sure he keeps position known. As that second segment, I don't know if it's going to get complete. No, it does not. So Boston able to reinforce.
Cramp creates a little bit of space, though, outside of the spawn. Snoopy's still getting to work, though. I mean, he is everywhere at the moment. 15 and 12. Major Maniac able to supply a little bit more reinforcement towards the potential spawn trap, but just as Snoopy tries to hop the window, Cramp was there waiting for him. So Thieves quickly push back the attempt, trying to get on for the second tick at B, but still unable to confirm it. Boston trying to hold on strong.
Yeah, still holding on. But Joe finding that double. Now gives an opportunity for LA to complete that second segment over towards B. And Priesta, you can't go in there and try to be Superman by your lonely. You have to try to at least play a couple exit kills because that B point is going to get away from you. But no, someone goes for a chow. Snoopy's able to somehow, somebody find a double. Boston work their way back on in.
Snoopy continues to be the hero. Second tick, only what gets locked. The third completely depleted. 20 seconds on the clock. Major Maniac up top at helicopter only finds one. Thieves looking to kind of stretch over towards, well, not A, actually. They're going to go underground over through blue to B. They've got a chance to stack this with 3 members on. Is there a trophy system down? Not initially, but it does get placed in the nick of time. Extra 60 not confirmed yet, though. Major Maniac with the pistol in, but Nasty gets on the zone to give LA an extra 60 just before the clock expires.
And now they're up on 5 segments. So if you are Boston Breach, we need a couple cruiser missiles to go forward into the rest of this map, because it's not going to be easy. So at least make up in those ticks. But a couple kills going in favor of LA. They already have a lot of map control over towards blue side, and now it's Ghostie's opportunity to hit a route. He just does not have covert sneakers on, so does Major get the sound cue.
Hard to say for now. Major Maniac gets completely surprised, but the rest of Boston find the kills on the Thieves hit over towards this front push at A. Ghosty holding on towards the backside shack. Snoopy tagged, but not fully dealt with. Nasty out of spawn. Able to take down Snoopy, so the isolation is good. Kremp follows up. Trophy system now down. 7 plays 6. Numbers for Thieves. And there is no one for Boston anywhere near this zone. First hit going to be locked. Kremp inside the spawn. Nearly collapse up a 2-piece. Not fully able to do it, though. But the time looking good. The lives looking better. Now you've got the cruise missile being called in. Second tick still being worked on. Should be locked behind this cruise missile. Major Maniac trying to hit her up through the underground. Second tick, though, gets qualified in. 5v2 situation. Nasty for the double. And it's just down to Beans. He's able to find the first and a third. Could he possibly hang? 1v2. Joe Deceives on the other side. He's on the zone. Beans has to contest. Beans trying to find a way to double up, but not able to succeed, and Thieves will get the offense.
That's good plays right there from LA. Great heads-up play call right there. Also from Ghosty to invest that cruise missile. He already had players on the point. You know, all of Boston Breach are coming off the respawn. So we invest the cruise missile on the attacking side, because if you walk away with an attack on high rise, it's basically GG. LAT doing exactly what they need to do, slaying when they need to fight out of their spawn, finding a couple kills, just giving themselves a lot of opportunities to always work that objective. If you're Boston, you got to play a little bit safe. I know we had a moment in that round right there where Snoopy, we were just watching him go from B Street, underground, left side. We got to hold the position.
Unreal stuff. I mean, to think that defensive round nearly came through at the last second, but Nasty able to slip into the site on B before Major Maniac could find the kill. How much of a difference maker that made. And now it just kind of feels like the life has left the lungs of Boston. They need to find a way to get things done over towards B, and Priest may have opened the door for him on the zone early.
Working on that first segment. No cruise missiles to work with in the back pocket of the LAT, so you don't have to worry about that now if you are Boston. Just got to worry about the nades coming over the top. And also the gunny on the side of LA, because they are firing right now as they find all 4 kills in the feed. Boston Breach again in the spawn.
Cramp trying to get a read on where this Boston hit's going to come from out of spawn. They knew they were being trapped, but Cramp doesn't predict it correctly, so Snoopy finds the initial kill. Joe trying to hold up close and personal, but it's all Boston in the kill feed. Nasty, the only one to find elimination. That's over towards the A site. Wraps around the backside at blue and finds himself now on 2 in a row. But Boston over towards B, trying to get some work done on the ticks of progress. Is not able to stay alive, nor do they get that first tick.
And now that 40 seconds is still going to continuously count on down. All of Boston trying to fight out of their spawn. All of LA holding down their irons, knowing that they have them all trapped. As Crep is all over the kill feed. Ghosty's all over the kill feed. Everyone from LAT sitting at positive. But now with only 24 seconds, as Sloopy trying to make another individual play. He's only able to take down 1, but that leads to 3 there for Boston. Still an opportunity here.
Cramp watching over this blue rotation in towards A. The teammates for Thieves defense right there to pick up on the information he's able to supply. Last chance here for Boston. Has to be over towards the B zone. Nasty over the top. Help from Kremp good on 5. And now it's just the last 8 seconds. Last opportunity. And Boston were coming out of spawn extremely staggered. Here's the push through. Major Maniac taken off. And at 3.3, Kremp says, why not just drop the cruise missile in just to kind of have a victory lap over top of what will be a 3-0 for the LA Thieves. Oh, man. I mean, looking good for sure in another online qualifying stage at this point.
You're feeling fantastic if you are LA. You walk away with a clean 3-0. I know the series that you played yesterday, you almost allowed that reverse sweep to be complete, but the S&D is just way too strong. And then for Boston Breach, again, I feel like these are just like the photos and the player cam that we see every single time. It's just nothing but heartbreak. You talk about the Surge and Destroy where you gave yourself a lot of opportunities to at least tie the series up. You fall short there. 5 bomb plants, no successful attacking ground wins. Then you get to the control, and you usually find a lot of success in control. You just weren't ready for what LAT were going to throw at you. They were just waiting for someone to play them on high rise, other than Invasion, other than Karachi, to show who they truly are in this game mode. And when they come out and play like that, especially the way that they came out swinging in that opening respawn, like, this is definitely a top team, and it's going to be hard to take down.
And Jay, just kind of pointing it, I know the kill deaths in that last scoreboard weren't necessarily accurate, but the amount of non-traded kills, all of them well into the double digits for the Thieves,